Hi everyone, this is Radia again. Um, I have made one audio actually, about the Palestinian war or conflict. Ever since the war began, I have made till now just one piece of audio or video talking about how I feel about the conflict and what we should do about it. I hope that I don't know how many people listened to it. I hope that it reached many people. But this audio will be very different from my previous audio because I am really very emotional right now, very angry right now, very heartbroken and depressed even. So I'm going to just let out my emotions as they are. Well, we all know that the slain journalist, the Palestinian journalist who was working for Al Jazeera, Anas al-Sharif, was a very prominent journalist. He had around 5 lakh followers only in X, which is Twitter. And many people are posting many things in YouTube and Facebook ever since he and 3 other journalists were murdered by a targeted Israeli airstrike when they were resting or sleeping with their mates under a tent in Gaza. Anas very much knew that his life was in danger because ever since the war began and he continued working as a journalist, threats were made to him that if he would not stop, his family members would be targeted. That did result in the killing of his father. His 65-year-old father was murdered by Israeli airstrikes. Yes, that did not stop Anas from doing what he was passionate about and what he believed in. And he's married. He was married. He has 2 children. He has a son and a daughter. They're very young. They're toddlers. So Anas knew that his life was in danger, yet he continued doing what he believed in. And this led to just another martyrdom. I mean, hundreds of journalists were slain by Israel since the war began. And before doing so, they would justify it. Israel would justify it by falsely claiming that they are associated or linked with Hamas. For the sake of argument, if I do believe, or if it is indeed proven that Anas and other journalists were simultaneously working for Al Jazeera and Hamas, does that give Israel the right to kill them like this? I mean, really? I mean, seriously, you need to first prove what he did wrong. You cannot just say that he was getting paycheck from Hamas. Maybe he was getting paycheck from Hamas to support his family. Maybe, his job as a journalist was not enough to run his entire family. Maybe he was just, accepting whatever was offered from Hamas in return of nothing, just like a charity paycheck. Maybe he was never working for Hamas, and it was not proven what exactly he did on behalf of Hamas that would justify his killing like that. IDF never proved anything on that ground. Nothing at all. I think these are the points we have to ponder upon. Not just saying that no, he was not with Hamas, no, he never worked with Hamas. No, even if he did, you need to prove what exactly did he do wrong. So every time they would kill a journalist, because this brave work of journalism, the way Anas and these other people have done it so far, it kept on exposing the war crimes of Israel to the rest of the world. So to silence that would be like complete blackout. Nobody would know, and we live an era of internet where we would only think about the things we get to see over the internet. Once we stop seeing about Gaza, we will forget about Gaza. That's just the way it works. I mean, if I consider the entire Muslim population, what percentage of these people are actually talking about Palestine? it's probably 1%, if more, if at most 1.2% of the entire population. Rest of the people are too young or too old to bother about it, or they're just worried that their American visa or citizenship will get cancelled, or they are just not bothered at all because they're into drugs, or maybe they're just working their ass off trying to make ends meet, and they don't have time or interest in this topic. So what percentage of the people? In fact, more Christians and Jews are talking in support of Palestine more than Muslim people. Coming back to the Muslim question here, my country, Bangladesh, is a Muslim majority country, and there was one protest in support of Palestine, march for Gaza, where I saw thousands of men and women, mainly men. They were storming the streets in support of Gaza, and in front of camera they were saying that I want to go to Gaza and fight this battle and be martyred if God wills it. And this is Bangladesh, far, far away from Palestine. Okay, we have our own problems. We are a poor country ourselves. We don't have the defense to fight with a country like Myanmar, which is why we have accepted so many refugees, like the Rohingya refugees, and they're still stationed in our country, and we are feeding them. First and foremost that. Still, you will see like many, I'm sure there are thousands of Bangladeshis who are supporting Palestinians in whatever way they can. I mean, in my own family, there are like multiple, at least 10 to 12 family members of mine who live in the United States. They're either studying there or working there. They are talking about Palestine day in, day out, even more than I'm doing. And they're not scared that, oh my God, I might get my job I might get fired from my job, or I might get kicked out of USA. My citizenship might get cancelled, or green card, or whatever. No, they're not worried. So this is the average Bangladeshi person. Let's go to the Arabs. Let's look at countries like, for example, Saudi Arabia. What are they doing? They're doing absolutely nothing for the Palestinians, absolutely nothing. They're bringing Trump, they're clapping for Trump, they're singing and dancing. Now the laws have been, normalized for liberal standards, so they're singing and dancing in musical concerts, and they're bringing like people like Jennifer Lopez to entertain their public. I mean, what the hell is going on? I just don't understand, but they're actually doing it. At the very moment children are starving in Palestine as they're doing it. So I don't want to like badmouth, I don't want to use vulgar language to like verbally abuse those Saudi people, but even the Saudi royal family, we all know what they are. They are murderers, they're killers, they kill their own people, they jail their own people for speaking the truth. They have killed Jamal Khashoggi. We very well know it. The entire planet knows it. They have killed him for his bravery and his honesty and his dignity and his loyalty towards the people of Saudi Arabia. They have murdered him for that. And if Arab, we have seen during the Arab Spring how dictators were ousted in countries like Tunisia and Egypt and whatnot. So why is it so impossible for Saudis to oust their government? Their government is buying weaponry from United States of America, billions and billions and billions of dollars worth weaponry, and they're killing Muslims with that weaponry. They have killed millions of Yemenis, innocent Yemenis. Hundreds of thousands have died because of that war, which was meaningless. And now they're like now they're buying this weaponry or whatever from America, and the same money that America is getting from them somehow is being channeled along with taxpayers' money of American people, is now being channeled, and billions and billions of dollars are being channeled towards the Israeli defense budget and system, and the Israelis are getting boosted with that money, and they're killing, and every day they are killing all kinds of innocent people in Palestine. More than 80% of the people killed in Palestine so far after the beginning of the war are innocent civilians, innocent people. And among that percentage, a great percentage, majority of the percentage within that percentage is women and children. Now, I just counted the number of people who died in Israel. The October 7th atrocity and the war in Gaza have cost more than 3,000 Israeli lives. That is more deaths than the 9/11 attacks in America. That is more deaths than the September 11 attacks of America. More than almost 3,500 Israelis have died so far. Of course, that includes the 1,200 people who died in the October 7 attacks and the Gaza war, the Israeli soldiers who died in the Gaza war. Now, after my calculation, I found out that one Israeli life is equivalent to 20 Palestinian lives. As in, the number of Israelis killed so far, 20 times more than that are the number of Palestinians who have been killed in the Gaza war. Near to 63 to 64,000 Palestinians have died. Okay, and I'm not counting the humongous number of Palestinians who have died in the past ever since the creation of the so-called State of Israel in 1948. I'm not even including that number here. I'm just talking about the Gaza war, the current Gaza war. So please, okay, I mean, I beg of you, I literally do. We have to make a stop to this. There are countless people like me. There are people in the New Zealand Parliament who are taking side of the Palestinians and speaking. But I don't think this is enough, is it? Because we are just talking and talking and nothing is happening. The murder, the killing is just going on and on and on. You know, I mean, women are getting killed in a way because his son was a journalist. They punished the journalist by murdering his mother. Her mother, his mother was dead inside some hospital, and he came inside the hospital looking for her, and he finally found her. He finally recognized her by looking at her clothes, of whatever remains of clothes she had, and her fingertips or stuff like that. Man, how can you possibly go on and on listening to stories like this and not getting depressed? You don't have to be a Muslim to get depressed. You have to be just a human being to be sad about it. Just a human being you need to be sad about it. You know? So yeah, think about it. Something has to be done. Whatever it is, but something has to be done. We have to come together to do something about it. This war has to end by the end of this year. But by the time December arrives this year, by the end of this year, this war, this madness has to come to an end. Thank you very much for listening. Please do share my audio with other people. Thank you.